Howdy, it's Jim Morado. And you know, I think a lot of people go to South Dakota, the western part of South Dakota, to see Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse Monument. You know, and you start planning that trip and you go, oh yeah, we'll do Custer State Park too. Yeah, that's out there. That's something to do. And I think many people kind of walk away going, you know, Custer State Park was the highlight. And it's definitely not something you want to miss by any means. Because look at these guys. We saw a ton of them on this particular visit. You know, it got to where we saw so many at Custer. Later on we went to the Teddy Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota, where we saw several again. But you know, after seeing literally hundreds in your field of view, I mean, that's overwhelming. Anyway, you're going to see more because I've videotaped them a lot, or I recorded them a lot. And with Custer, you know, we when we did this trip in 2012, it was impressive. When we came back up in 2019, we did it as part of our bus tour package. And then when we came up this year, we paid the entry fee, and we spent a pretty good chunk of a day here. And we realized we didn't get enough. So, you know, on one of our later days where we'd kind of put some time aside, we decided to come back to Custer and spend some more time, here at Custer State Park. So this particular video is kind of highlights from our two separate drive-thrus going through Custer. Yeah, because we went back and we did it again another day. So check this out. And I've got another video up if you're interested. Several years ago, my dad and I went down to Land Between the Lakes in western Kentucky, and they've got their bison range. And I've put I think about an hour video from that trip up. And during that particular day, one of the bison comes up and puts their head right on the hood of my car, and I've got that video up if you're interested. Just scroll down on my YouTube channel. It's one of the first few videos I put up. But we were sort of in a little bit of a pickle for several, 10-15 minutes anyway. Bison are big, intimidating animals. And I'm sure you've seen videos online, even, I think there was one of Custer during the Sturgis rally where a lady gets a little too close to one, and it does not go well for her. But as you can see, I mean, they don't really bother people. You know, they'll stand around and kind of expect you to go around them, but they're very gentle while you're in a car. I will say this though, and I'll bring this up with the Teddy Roosevelt National Park video too as we were leaving, and I don't think I got it on camera, but there was a guy a couple cars in front of us who kind of pulled over, and I think he might have been, I don't know what he was doing, I don't want to speculate, but we heard that bison kind of make some noises, and it scared us for a moment. You know, I don't know what happened, but that bison let that car know that it should probably move along. So, you know, you rarely hear stories about, you know, somebody was minding their own business in the car and then something bad happened. And even my story, you know, I was minding my own business in my car, and I think that bison just enjoyed the heat from the motor and put its head on my car for a while. And, you know, nothing bad happened, but that was that. So yeah, we're driving through this cluster of bison, and you know, this is rare. This is just kind of a rare sight, and we're really enjoying it. And actually, it kind of looks like maybe staff is sort of pushing these guys along. We thought, you know, we're in parking lots. We're, you know, and again, we had just been in Custer State Park for a few minutes when we saw this impressive sight of the buffalo. And they are doing, they do a roundup every year, and it seems that they were going to be doing the roundup just a few days after we left. We were there in early September. They do the roundup in late September. When you go into Custer State Park, they give you a copy of the Custer State Park magazine Tatanka. And out of the 2020 issue, I just wanted to give you a little info about the buffalo roundup. It says, the park began to gather the herd back in the 1960s when the decision was made to eradicate the disease brucellosis from the herd. I don't know if I pronounced that right. The herd was certified brucellosis free in 1965, allowing the sale of live animals. Since that time, the roundup has been used in conjunction with the fall sale as a way to manage the size of the herd and to provide an opportunity to brand and vaccinate the calves. Studies show that during normal moisture years, the park's grassland can support about 1,400 head of bison, explains Chad Kramer, herd manager for Custer State Park. The number fluctuates depending on rainfall and the available rangeland forage. The buffalo are on their own to forage. The park does not supplement their food supply. We inventory the range conditions each year, and that determines the number of buffalo we sell at the fall auction in November, says Kramer. We need to keep the buffalo numbers compatible with available forage, and that is why you may see varying numbers of the size of our herd. This year we have about 1,300 buffalo in the herd, and we'll be building back to that target number of 1,400 in the future. Kramer points out that for Custer State Park, the Buffalo Roundup is a management tool to prepare for the annual buffalo sale. But, he says, it is an event that is open to the public, and we are happy to share it with the thousands of guests who come to experience something out of the Old West. It truly is a magnificent sight to see. Buffalo rumbling across the plains driven by cowboys and cowgirls on horseback. It takes you back to days gone by and lets the spectator catch a glimpse of Old West history, adds Kramer. Anyway, yeah, and hey, right now we are in front of the lodge at Custer State Park. Or I should say the State Game Lodge at Custer State Park. And we were here back in 2019 with our bus tour. We stopped and had lunch. I wanted to come back again on this trip, though, just to look around. Really nice guy at the front desk told me it was totally fine to just, to tape around the place. So I'm just recording with my camera. Obviously a nice little place to probably have breakfast and that sort of thing in the morning over here. Very, very cozy. I like the Hotel Alex Johnson, but we might have to spend some time here on a future trip. Again, the fella at the front desk told me to go upstairs, too, to see a little more of the historic inside parts of the lodge. Here's a dining room area. There's a little balcony where you can kind of look over it. Again, it's just so attractive, very, very lodge-like. No one was down there eating on this particular day. It's kind of dark, but I thought it was pretty cool. And this particular lodge, I love my presidential history, especially relating to summer White Houses. There are 7 rooms. Oh, and this is looking over into the gift shop. And they have a really nice gift shop. I always have to buy a shirt here. They have cool shirts. In fact, I'm literally wearing my shirt right now that I bought there. Nice postcards and that kind of stuff. It's my kind of gift shop. Calvin Coolidge and Eisenhower both stayed here at different times. And I believe this was considered... it was considered a summer White House in 1927. So, those... you had presidents that literally hung out here. And here are the doors to their rooms. And that would be something special to stay in one of those rooms. And this is on the 2nd floor. This is just a few steps over from where I was just filming, above that dining area. Again, the staff was really nice about letting me kind of just come up here and roam around and look around, which was nice of them. And this little front area to their restaurant. Again, it's part of the lodge. This is where we had lunch here back in 2019. It was a nice, pleasant meal. Just some of the outside of the lodge. Again, very attractive. There's several more lodges here, but with that presidential connection, this is the one that I was most impressed with. And there's, just how pretty is that? So yeah, we spent quite a bit of time here just walking around. In the gift shop, I like to get my little park stamp cancels. The little rubber stamp cancels. The national parks do it. Some state parks do it. The person working there that day wasn't sure what I was talking about with the cancel, but I found it at another visitor center. And they were watering the grass. I just wanted to get one more good shot of the lodge before we drove on. And we're back out looking at critters. And again, just a ton of buffalo. And there will be more. And one thing I noticed on this particular trip as we drove around, they do have a buffalo safari jeep tour that you can take. And, kind of like with cars in your video, just as you're taking pictures and you're filming buffalo, you get this very, you get this great scene. You're looking at this. This could be something out of, the late 1800s, the mid 1800s, and how wonderful is that? And then all of a sudden, there's a buffalo safari jeep in your field of view. Not sure. I kind of feel kind of split on that one, because I got to be honest, if I was staying here a few more days, I would have done the Buffalo Safari Jeep tour also. It kind of drives you out to places where only they have access to. It looks like it's done through the park. And I was looking at the Tatanka magazine. They have all sorts of different things you can do. They have a hayride, chuck wagon cookout, and wildlife tour. And then they also have the Buffalo Safari Jeep tour. It looks like 1.5 to 2 hours. That's $55 a person. You can do the Jeep tour and cookout together. That's $93 a person. It would kill about half a day, though. But yeah, so I know I filmed some of it. If you look really closely, I don't think it's here, but later on, and it's kind of in the background. But you might actually see a Buffalo Safari Jeep. And yeah, on one hand, it kind of messes up the vibe and the scenery. On another hand, it's something interesting to do. I'm sure they give some educational type information as you're driving around out there. So there's that also. But anyway, there's just a ton of buffalo.
I'll try to get one.
You did it with your phone.
right behind this one. So we're going around to Nebraska. Should I do one more panoramic here or not?
Okay.
Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed watching those buffalo. I wanted to mention the prairie dogs here. We saw a lot of prairie dogs. And man, are they fun. They're just cute. They're adorable. And yeah, I think I'll be quiet and let you listen to them for a while too.
In your motion. He's cool.
Yeah, I got it.
Trey's dog passed away.
Oh.
So
Ready to hit one. I'm gonna shut it down. Is that cool?
Yeah, and we would actually see a ton of prairie dogs in addition to buffalo on this trip. You know, we would visit Devil's Tower in Wyoming, and then we also visited the Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota, and we would see quite a bit of them at both of those parks also. And this is just us doing a little more driving around the park, enjoying the scenery. And from the Tatanka magazine again, they have a little bit of history on the park. The Custer State Park Zoo opened in 1923 as an additional tourist draw for the newly created park. It was located where the current visitor center stands. Remnants of the zoo enclosures can still be found in the area today. And I'm going to paraphrase here a little bit. Over its 50 years of existence, the area was home to several Rocky Mountain goats from Banff National Park in Canada, monkeys, 5 adult black bears, 1 with a cub, which came from Washington, a moose from Yellowstone, elk, Sitka deer, foxes, badgers, northern otter, coyotes, wolves, an albino beaver, wild boar, porcupines, and all types of waterfowl. One thing the Black Hills can thank the park zoo for is its mountain goat population. As it is a non-native species, in 1922 park staff coordinated with an inspector in charge of the Canadian National Park in Banff, Alberta. The original deal was to bring 12 goats from Canada to the park, but they could only supply 6. The mountain goats arrived in the park in 1923, but didn't stay long, only 3 days in fact, before escaping their enclosure and heading to the cathedral spires. This is where they stayed and planted roots, and now the goat population numbers 150 across the Black Hills. Anyway, that's just a little bit about the zoo. There's actually more to that article, but I wanted to give you a little bit about the goats. However, what we're seeing right now, that appears to be pronghorns. And again, from the Tatanka guide that they gave us when we came into the park, pronghorns, commonly referred to as antelope due to their similar appearance, live on the open grassland. The name pronghorn comes from the buck's large pronged horns. The horn sheaths are shed each year. The fastest land animal in North America, pronghorns can run 60 miles an hour for great distances. Yeah, so we kind of pulled over to check these guys out. We were enjoying just kind of watching them do their thing, as was that car over there. And of course somebody has to kind of swoop around, get a couple pictures, chase them off, and head on down the road. Anyway, we still got a good look at them for that little bit of time. One of the many varieties of animals you can see here. And they are pretty cool. They have some interesting coloring, obviously. Kind of deer-like, but those heads, there's something kind of oversized about them. I can't place my finger on it, but they're very unique. They almost remind me of something I've seen in Star Wars or something like that. We still got a little bit of footage of them. And then, yeah, just check out that landscape. I mean, that's you can drive through Custer State Park, and not see any animals, even though there are some in the background, as you can tell. But just look at the landscape. I mean, that's. And this is the kind of video I can watch when I get home. I just watch and go, wow, we were there. We were actually there. I'd like to do some more exploration of that one of these days, when I have more than a week to take off of work and go somewhere. And we're actually, again, you got the obvious buffalo and all that good stuff coming up, but we are about to come up on burros here in just a moment. Yeah, we stopped at this little kind of pullover area, and you can see those buffalo in the background. And then here are burros. And again, from the Tatanka magazine. The burros in Custer State Park are not native to the Black Hills. They are descendants from the herd that once hauled visitors to the top of Black Elk Peak. The rides were discontinued years ago, and the burros were released into the park. And if you watch them, I mean, they walk right up to you.
Hey, buddy.
That guy walked right up to me. And they're looking for food. They're very sweet. I didn't see any being aggressive or anything like that, but I think each new person that comes around, they kind of walk up to them as if to say, hey, you got any food? And they're just adorable. I wanted to put one in my car with me and take it home. They're just precious. But yeah, they're looking for food. And I did see that some people had brought some stuff around, some kind of leafy stuff, some granola bars, that kind of thing. I didn't actually see anybody feed them. I don't think I did. But I did see where people had dropped some food around there. So, people obviously prepare to bring to bring them some food. But they were so tame. We had a pony growing up, but we never had one of these
I wish I had
guys.
someone to kill him. Probably not right, but
But it was interesting that they were all kind of clustered right here at this little tourist stop. And of course, everybody had their cameras out, myself included. And they were walking around the signs, they're walking around the cars, they're very comfortable. He's just hanging out. I think that car might have been thinking about pulling out, but it realized it couldn't at that moment. But yeah, it's just another one of the cool animals you get to see when you're driving around Custer. And just real quick, we did get a little bit of video of some more critters on our way out. Kind of in passing. Almost not worth putting up, but I still thought they were pretty cool. And I thought you might enjoy looking at them too. And yeah, really enjoyed those guys. Just a cute little cluster of creatures there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it makes you want to go to Custer State Park in South Dakota. It's really, obviously something special. Thanks.